including this FBI report that claims Trump has been compromised by Israel. Which anyone who's been paying attention to this administration shouldn't really be surprised at. I don't think anyone heard that and recoiled in their chair going, what?
Wait, what? You mean to tell me that the Mossad pedophilia blackmail operation that works hand in glove with CIA also may have compromised perhaps the most pro-Israel president of our lifetime? A lifetime which also includes Joseph Robinette Brandon, an avowed ultra-Zionist? What? Finally, some truth in reporting, okay? Some truth in real reporting from Charlie Moist Critical.
Where a lot of the redacted names were not names of victims. They were various other things, and a lot of the redactions were clearly not victims. Sometimes it even seemed like the redactions were there to protect the names of potential clients and perpetrators, which again is a complete violation of the Epstein Files Transparency Act that they were supposed to be following. But again, even with them farting out completely blacked out pages to protect these pedophiles in power, there were still a lot of huge revelations that came from this, such as co-conspirators that for some reason they never pursued. We don't know who they were because their names have been redacted conveniently, but we learned that there were co-conspirators they were investigating, and I guess they just let the leads dry up and then just said, fiddlesticks, they're gone. Now time to pretend they don't exist. Like Kash Patel under oath lying about it. Perjury Patel, by the way, still not punished for it. And speaking of unpunished, you know who else has been unpunished? Every Epstein client, all of these rapists.
Yeah, but hold on. Guys. Don Lemon. Best I can do is a Don Lemon for you, okay? Can I get a Don Lemon arrest, please? I know that you might be thinking that your confidence in the justice system is shaken. None of the pedophilic elite have even gotten close to being prosecuted. And not only are they not close to being prosecuted, we're defending them. We're defending their honor. We're defending their safety and security. We arrested Don Lemon because he was doing journalism, which is a direct violation of the First Amendment. But also, think about that. Don Lemon. Like, what the are we doing, man? This administration is so clumsy. Thank God they're so stupid and so incompetent, bro. I swear to God, if they were even halfway decent, if they were even halfway disciplined, we would be so, brother, we would be, because it's not like the Democrats are doing anything to stop them. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, we got protests happening and stuff like that, but like, imagine if they were competent fascists rather than the incompetent fascists that they are currently, constantly adjudicating like the dumbest beefs of all time. Like, in their minds, all they are capable of doing is like fighting against Don Lemon and I won't lie, chat. I do feel a level of comfort that these old ass boomers are so primed to television, primetime television, that like they think Don Lemon is the major op here, that they have no idea like the far more radical people that are out there in independent media. I mean, I'll be honest, it's a little bit selfish of me, but that's how I felt after the Jimmy Kimmel stuff a little bit, where I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I hate that they're going after Jimmy Kimmel. I will defend Jimmy Kimmel. We are Jimmy Kimmel. I'm carrying his flame. You made a million Jimmy Kimmels, but like there was a moment there when we were seeing like the terrorism lists that are were getting launched and stuff. Like the administration was saying we're going to prosecute like all domestic terrorists and stuff. I was like, I straight up was like, I might need to like actually leave the country. And then they blew it. They blew their load on Jimmy Kimmel's most vanilla ass take. And I was like, oh, thank God, because this brought up so much animosity. Because let's be real, ain't no liberal Democrat is going out and sticking out their neck for someone like myself. They're not going to defend me. They're going to be like, I don't know who the that is. Beat his ass in prison, you know? Don't get complacent. I am not complacent at all, but it's the same with Don Lemon. It's the same with Don Lemon. They're going after Don Lemon because they remember him from CNN. They hate him for that reason. They hate him as like a woke libtard from CNN, right? Like that's their whole thing.
And pedophiles, all of them still just getting away with these unthinkable crimes. No one being handcuffed and thrown in the slammer. Doesn't even seem like they're pursuing any investigations or anything into it. Across 2 administrations now, no fucking arrests outside of Maxwell, who Trump has done everything in his power to ensure she is treated like a queen.
It's true. That is also true. Donald Trump has been very aggressively defending Ghislaine Maxwell, put her in a much nicer prison, floating clemency. It's crazy. Bush is in the files. Oh my Lord. I mean, that's unsurprising.
Now, anyway, I know I'm getting kind of sidetracked here with like the previously on Dragon Ball Z with this whole saga, The most recent batch of Epstein files came out a couple hours ago.
Thank you.
Millions of files, so people are still combing through them, but what they are finding is alarming. Trump's name, of course, is all over these files. His name appears more in these Epstein files than Green Eggs and Ham appeared in the fucking Green Eggs and Ham Dr. Seuss book. His name is everywhere with numerous allegations about terrible, awful things. Some things we had heard little bits and pieces about from previous Epstein releases, but this one has significantly more, including this FBI report that claims Trump has been compromised by Israel. Which anyone who's been paying attention to this administration shouldn't really be surprised at. I don't think anyone heard that and recoiled in their chair going, what?
Wait, what? You mean to tell me that the Mossad pedophilia blackmail operation that works hand in glove with CIA also may have compromised perhaps the most pro-Israel president of our lifetime? A lifetime which also includes Joseph Robinette Brandon, an avowed ultra-Zionist? What? I'm shocked. Let me tell you how shocked I am, okay? Say it ain't so, buddy. No wonder Nick Fuentes has been doing the pro-Israel rounds left and right. His goat, Donald Trump, who he almost went to jail for, even though he never did, weirdly enough, for January 6th, is up and down the Epstein files and has been defending Israel nonstop. Shocking.
If anyone's followed everything that's been going on in regards to Trump and Israel, it should be no surprise that the FBI believed he was compromised, is compromised as well, most likely. But this is, again, new information that is hitting the public here from official sources in these Epstein files. These are big. Another huge name appearing in here is Bill Gates. So Bill Gates had an exchange with Jeffrey Epstein, and I think it's been known for a long time Bill Gates was associated with Jeffrey Epstein, but this information here is new that talks about how he contracted an STD apparently and had asked Jeffrey Epstein to provide him with antibiotics that he could secretly dose Melinda with.
Brother! What the heliante? Bro, I know, I heard about this earlier today, but like it still hits you in the face, you know?
He had contracted it from Russian girls apparently. Another massive name coming in is Elon Musk, who had an email chain with Jeffrey Epstein that was in these files about him trying to plan a visit to Jeffrey Epstein's island, and he seemed to want to find the wildest party, the best time to come through to the island, and he was trying to make plans to go visit the island. These new files also expose blatant lies that a lot of really powerful people tried to peddle to get themselves out of hot water in regards to their close connection to Jeffrey Epstein, like Howard Lutnick. Howard Lutnick is Trump's commerce secretary, and he claimed he cut ties with Jeffrey Epstein in 2005, yet in these files we can clearly see he was emailing Epstein in 2012 planning a trip out there, saying, "Hi Jeff, we are landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart on Monday at some point."
Say it ain't so, not Howard Buttlick. No, not my goat. When you find out all your goats are pedophiles, dude. I've never had my flabbers so aghast.
Where are you located? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? I have another couple, Michael and Mary Lehrman, with me on my boat, and each of us has 4 children. 2 16s, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, an 11, and a 7-year-old. Thanks, Howard. What a disgusting freak. He's even listing out the ages of the children that are joining them on their planned trip to Epstein's Island. This is in 2012. That's quite a few years after 2005.
Okay, that's pretty crazy. That's saying, what the did I misunderstand this? Hold on.
16s, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, an 11, and a 7-year-old. Thanks, Howard.
Was bro sending fresh meat? Like, what the or is he just straight up doing like a family vacation on Pedophile Island? Like, I don't understand. He was like, oh yeah, great place to vacation, Pedophile Island with my children.
What a disgusting freak. He's even listing out the ages of the children that are joining them on their planned trip to Epstein's Island. This is in 2012. That's quite a few years after 2005, Howard. Seems like you told a big-time fib. Howard said that he had visited Epstein's house in 2005, but it culminated with him getting the heebie-jeebies. He called him gross and said that was basically kaput. That was the end of his relationship with Epstein. He washed his hands of him back in 2005, but that clearly wasn't true now, was it, Howard? These emails are from 2012, planning a trip out there. and making a very odd mention of a bunch of children and their ages that will be joining you to Epstein's Island. Howard Lutnick is your U.S. Secretary of Commerce under Trump right now. This is your Commerce Secretary. And he is one of many very powerful politicians who...
Bro's starting to sound like me saying your Commerce Secretary. Bitch, you're Floridian. I mean, I do it too, to be fair. Sometimes when I want to distance myself from the actions of this administration, but it's a welcomed new way of referring to the Trump admin from Moist Critical, I will say. He say your Commerce Secretary, like my man's in Canada. He's our pedophile Commerce Secretary.
Why are none of these people in these Epstein files even being looked into at all? Why does Kash Patel lie under oath about there not being an Epstein list or clients or like co-conspirators when we now have all this available evidence that confirms there definitely were co-conspirators? There definitely are clients. And there is nothing being done, not in this administration, not the previous administration, to hold any of them accountable or find them. This is a huge deal.
Wait, I feel like he's left now. When I criticize the previous administration for not doing on the Epstein files, like all the liberals get mad at me. All the liberals get mad at me and they're like, why are you bringing up liberals? It's like, but you didn't do anything. Woke is so bad, bro. Charlie is woke Jesus now.
This latest batch shows even more evidence, shines even more light on these terrible, terrible things that unfolded here. And the close connections a lot of powerful people had to Epstein and the island. I'll continue to look into the files and see what else turns up from all of this. I'll be, of course, keeping my finger on the pulse of it, and I highly encourage all of you to be paying very close attention to it and the people named in these Epstein files, and the people that try and defend it as well. That is unacceptable. This is indefensible. There's no excuse for it. So anyway, wanted to just give you an update here. That's really about it. See ya.
Woke warrior Charlie. Hell yeah. I wish you didn't think I was a dog abuser, horrible monster, but okay, I'll take it. I'll ride for him regardless.